I'll put it in a note. Before we get to headlines. So what's going on, Caleb? What do you got going on this morning?
Hey, what's up, guys? So Marcos and the friends, how's it going?
Yeah. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Hey, listen, man. I don't know about you guys, but I'm still juiced about that game. Like I don't think my blood pressure's come down yet. I mean, it's Tuesday and I'm still juiced from that game.
It was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome.
Look, I wanted to call in yesterday, but I was really scared I'd be lumped in with those people that needed to apologize about Tua because I'm not one of them. I've been backing that boy for forever. I'm all kinds of behind Tua, but let me tell you something. There's some people that I think we're overlooking right now because I loved the show yesterday because Tobin was calling out all the bums. All right, but I'm going to tell you, Tobin, I think you're sleeping on how big of a bum Skip Bayless is. Now I heard Leroy bring him up, but I'm going to tell you how big a bum Skip Bayless is. I can't stand that man. Cool, man. If you watch. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask. Like, I got to be honest with you. Like, I really feel like Skip Bayless has fallen off the face of the earth. Like, I don't hold Skip Bayless takes like I used to. Is he a known Tua hater?
You have him.
Oh man,
he's your idol.
That's not fair. He was nice to me once when Joy was on his show.
Oh, man, listen, dude. Skip Bayless, if they're not wearing a Cowboys jersey or an Oklahoma Sooners jersey, that man is so out the door on anybody else. I swear, the way he treated and acted like the game Tua did was not impressive at all. Like, anybody could have made that play. If you take Tua's jersey off and you put Cooper Rush's jersey on, he's going to act like that dude should win the MVP. I swear
you're right
to God, that's how that dude acts.
I'll tell you another one who I missed yesterday. It was a big miss by me. Bill Simmons. Bill Simmons is a huge Tua hater, and I was hate listening to him on the other day. Can I see you do it again? All right, dude. Oh, okay. You weren't impressed by that? Like, I mean, anybody who's still on that island of just like, oh, not impressed. Shut up. Come on. With those numbers?
Straight up.
That's what I think. I don't understand.
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I got to say, though, there are some people we need to call out, okay? There are some people we need to call out for good things, though, because I know we talk about the bums. You got the bum guns out. But we got to talk about the fact that my man RG3 has gone to bat for Tua this whole time. Okay, I love RG3, and I love the fact that he got to strut his stuff all over the TV yesterday, talking about, listen, man, I told you guys, I told y'all, but I don't know, man. I just wanted to give some love to that guy. But listen, as far as the game goes, guys, as far as I know we talked a lot about Tua, a lot about Tyreek, a lot about Waddle. Mm-hmm. But we got to talk about some of the dudes that I feel like we hadn't talked about enough. Number one, Alec Ingold. My goodness, that dude's awesome.
Yeah.
My goodness, that dude's awesome. And then number two, I mean, are we ever going to see Austin Jackson get on the field again? Because Greg Little was on fire. I mean, that dude balled out yesterday.
Eichenberg had some monster blocks too. Yesterday. Yeah. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, they did, dude. The whole line.
Whole line played good, man.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it, Caleb. Whole line was looking good, man. The whole line was looking good. Here is Mike Gesicki yesterday. Leroy, I think you'll like this. The tight end, he's playing bouncer on the Tua bandwagon, and he's not just letting anybody on, all the fakes. Here's Mike Gesicki.
I feel like I've answered this question 100 times, but he's dealt with so much criticism and outside noise from people that aren't in the building, people that aren't aware of the situation, people that don't know the play call, people that don't know the situation. But they're still going to say and, do anything they want because it draws attention to a negative situation. And unfortunately, that's the world we live in. People want to be negative rather than understand that, he's a young quarterback and he's only getting better and he's made plays for this organization for the third year now. And now this year, people want to hop on the bandwagon, hop on the train. And if I was him, I wouldn't let him.
I like that. I wouldn't let him.
It's
bouncer, Mike Gesicki.
You know what?
Not allowing people in.
The thing about it is what makes it even worse is that no matter how hard people have been on Tua, he's never snapped back. He's always taken the high road about everything.
I feel like if you did want to come on Tua's bandwagon, I feel like Tua would give you a gift basket. You'd be like, of course. Oh, you were mean to me? That's all right. Come on.
Right, exactly.
Bygones be bygones. Come on to the Tua wagon.
But you ever notice the abrasive guys, the guys who snap back, usually start getting the benefit of the doubt because people, it's the craziest thing because guess what? You remember Skip Bayless and Baker?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Colin Cowherd, especially.
Colin Cowherd. I'm sorry.
Colin Cowherd and Baker Mayfield. That was a big one. Big
right.
beef.
So
but I think people applauded Baker for that because people like when people snap back at the media. That's not Tua's style.
That's not his. That's not who he is.
Unless you're stalking his, of course, stalking his nuptials. Then he gets mad. But other than that, he's probably just like, "Welcome to the Tua bandwagon, everybody. Bill Simmons, welcome. Look, we're gonna have activities time in about 15 minutes. And then after that, I'm gonna play a little ukulele, and of course, we're gonna start making Christmas cards because I love Christmas.
I love Christmas.
I mean, yeah. So like he's probably handled it, and I think more people appreciate Tua, especially in the organization and his teammates, based on how he's handled all these situations. You think about the situation with the coaching, the situation with Fitzpatrick, the situation with, all these different situations that he's gone through 2 years into his career.
Yeah.
And still, now I would say this. I said, there's a lot of good things to take from this game while keeping in mind there's still only one game. But if you see and you take his whole career, as short as it is, he's got a winning record with guys who were in the organization sabotaging him. Right? So, like, now he has support.
I think
you can clearly see his production is a lot better. Granted, it could be Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, but so what?
I feel like Tua is so nice that he would even let Brian Flores on his bandwagon. Like he would welcome him in and give him a nice ice cold cucumber water.
Yeah.
Daddy loves you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, he'd bring Flo in for a hug and be like, "It's okay, baby. Bygones be bygones." And Flo would be like grimacing, all prickly about it.
Or when they play Pittsburgh and they beat Pittsburgh, he gets in the middle of the field and hip thrust. I told you, Bo! Told you.
No. What I would love him to do, I would love Tua throw 4 touchdowns against Pittsburgh, and then he goes over to Flo and just starts doing his golf swing.
Oh, wait. You think that should be a touchdown celebration for that week?
Oh, that would be great. Just gets right up the floor and goes,
"Oh,
little putt." Sorry.
Fist bump. Tiger was fist bump.
Yes. You do a little putt, and then Jalen pin, and he falls.
Oh my goodness.
That would be something.
See, we have that in us. I remember we played Dallas on Thanksgiving. And we were in the running back room, and we have special teams meet. Pretty much everybody goes special teams. You're first, second, and third team special teams, and you have to know when your guy's out. So everybody's in special teams, and so me and Chuck, who's the fullback, we sit next to each other, and me, Chuck, Robert, and Harold. We sit next to each other, and they made a big play, a tackle on kickoff inside the 20. And they all rode the horse all the way to midfield. I say, Chuck, if I score a touchdown, we riding the horse, right? So I scored, and me and Chuck got up. We start riding the horse. That's about the only. That's about to go. What the hell are you guys? We ride the horse. We Cowboys. We ride the horse.
I love it. What's up, Handsome Daffy?
Hey, what's going on, man? Shout out to
happening?
y'all as always. I just want to say 3 things, man. I'm surprised the haters didn't compare that game to a Matt Flynn game when he threw 7 touchdowns. And also, if Tua takes us to the Super Bowl, the haters going to say what they always say. They're going to be like, well, can he do it again? because they never give a man credit. Also, to end this call, Toads, my daughter want to say something to you.
I love our Tua.
That's what I'm talking about, handsome daddy. That's a good parent right there, dude. That's a good parent.
Dude, we have people go to school.
Also, I apologize for your daughter being in the car and us talking about Doc Rivers liking stuff on Twitter.
Yeah.
I should have realized that. I do try and be more appropriate during the go to school hours.
We didn't know that our demographic was 5 to 80.
I actually do. I do know a lot of people listen to us going on the way to school. So I apologize to that, everybody.
Unacceptable.
You know what? Sometimes this show is willy-nilly, and you don't know when you're going to bring up Doc Rivers' Twitter activity.
Yeah.
You don't know. But let that be
So
a
now
lesson
we gotta-
to everybody out
So
there.
now we got to use that to start our tour.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Who doesn't love our Tua, dude? It's funny he brings up Matt Flynn because I was reading yesterday, I think
Matt Flynn went
ESPN.
back-to-back 400.
It was it was an interesting one where it was people who have had 400 passing yards and 5 touchdowns in the game over the past decade. This is from Bill Barnwell. Here's the list: Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Nick Foles, Jared Goff, Peyton. Although Jared Goff, I mean, those Lions, they can score. Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Schaub, Deshaun Watson. Pretty good list.
Okay.
Pretty good list.
So basically, what that list is telling me is that doesn't just accidentally happen.
Yeah. It's a pretty good list, right?
Right. Like if you
and even Nick
you
Foles,
know,
Nick Foles, Super Bowl winner.
But if you say something like, so there was, I think Scotty Scheffler this year, he won like 2 in a row, back to back, or 3 or something. It was like he was on a bit of a heater. And they go, yeah, man, here's the list of people who won 2 or 3 in a row. Right? I think Tiger won 7. 7 tournaments here, and he won 7 in a row. The record is 11, but that was in like the 1940s, right? But other than that, it's something that doesn't happen. So no matter how bad a golfer you are, if you're a professional golfer and you win a couple, 2 or 3 tournaments in a row, you can't be a bum. That's what that list is saying.
And the reason Matt Flynn sparked it for me is it reads, if you go back 11 seasons instead of just that 10-year window that he puts, if you go back in 11th season, then you can add Matt Flynn, who threw for 480 yards, 6 touchdowns in Week 17 against the Lions. But
here's the problem. Like, there's outliers. That was an outlier because dude got a big contract. He couldn't even win the starting job from Russell Wilson.
Right.
So there's outliers.
There's outliers. But over the last 10 years, that list they gave you, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Nick Foles, Jared Goff, Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Schaub, Deshaun Watson. Even Matt Schaub had success as a guy who's had success in this league.
Right.
Jared Goff, people will scout it. Dude's been to a Super Bowl. Definitely the least sexy name on there, but he's the number 1 overall pick.
So we're looking at how many people on 7 people on that list?
I think it was 10. Let me count again.
10. 7 of them are Hall of Famers. 6 or 7 of them are Hall of Famers, right?
Right. Yeah.
So if you're on a list where a majority of them are Hall of Famers, you're in good company.
Pretty crazy. Take a break.
Did Dan Marino ever have one of those days? I know he threw for 500.
He did.
Did he have 6 touchdowns when he threw for 500?
In the same game? In the same, I don't know if the 600, I don't know if the 6 touchdowns was in the same that he had the
right. So did he have 400?
I think he did. No, I think he did. I feel like in all these numbers it was at least over 450.
Yeah. Well, I knew he threw for 500.
He's good.
Oh yeah. Oh, stop.
Damage is done, my friend, is next. Can you ask one of your football friends if they like my Winter Wonderland idea?
Who was Enchanted Forest?
You want to hear Coach McDaniel's new thing? He had a big revelation yesterday. You want to hear it?
As long as we don't talk about Tua's Enchanted Forest, yes.
Great. Here's McCochin yesterday.
Jalen and Tyreek set records yesterday, obviously, but you got 192 yards from players not wearing 10 and 17. How important is it for this offense to get that much production out of guys that are not animal-themed nicknames?
Well, I mean, unbeknownst to you, I've named every player an animal.
You know what I like about that? He is having a blast, just throwing it right back in their face, and they don't know how to handle it. Right? They're like, what? Well, Snowman is not an animal.
That's true. He's not. Well, is the abominable snowman an animal? What would you consider that?
It's right with Bigfoot and Chupacabra.
Are those animals or are they monsters?
They're not real.
Well, says you. I mean, all right. Sorry, I didn't realize you covered all of Siberia to know.
Dude, come on. Anybody ever took a picture of one?
There's been pictures, not good ones.
Yeah.
There's one video of Bigfoot that's been around for 80 years.
I'll watch a Finding Bigfoot show anytime.
Right.
Anytime.
It went like they go, look at the footprint. I'm like, hold
What
on.
was that? This is how you do a Bigfoot show, you know? This is partly a Twitch joke. All right. What was that? So close. What was that sound? You hear that? What was that? What was
When
that?
did Bigfoot start sounding like a hyena?
I don't know, dude. It's always like, all right, we're gonna do something here. We're gonna clack sounds together, and it's gonna make. We'll see if we get a response.
Is that like Bigfoot?
What, did you hear that? Ralph, did you hear that? Yeah, what was that? Shh.
By the way, quick -1 to Leroy.
Why is that?
Got a text that says, nah, Donald Jones isn't 6'8", bro. It's Montel Jordan. Wrong black guy, Leroy.
Montel Jordan. That's it.
Jeez, Leroy.
Wow, -1.
It's a definite -1.
-1.
Speaking of -1, Tom Brady. He's got a podcast. Let's go with Jim Gray.
Jim Gray is at the center of all these big time star interviews. How has this happened?
I don't understand.
When Tiger was going through his stuff,
Jim Gray.
LeBron
decision.
taking his
Jim
talents
Gray.
to South Beach. Jim Gray. Tom Brady.
Mike
Jim
Tyson.
Gray.
Broke your back? Spinal. Jim Gray.
Right.
Weasels his way in there. But Jim Gray on the Let's Go podcast, I will give credit for journalism because he was asked Tom Brady about the Ryan Fitzpatrick controversy from last week. Ryan Fitzpatrick was doing a media tour and he was on Lebitard and Pardon My Take. And aside from being a sensitive, an overly sensitive baby about the water slide injury, he was also convinced that he is that mother bleeper. And if you guys don't know, been living under a rock, infamous clip from The Shop, LeBron show. Tom Brady was a guest, and Tom Brady said, infamously about a team sticking with their quarterback instead of getting him in free agency. He says, "You're sticking with that mother bleeper." And everybody has always wondered since, who is that mother bleeper?
Wasn't it Derek Carr, though?
A lot of people have thought it was Derek Carr because of the Dana White news. Remember, Dana White came out and he said that he had the Tom Brady deal done. But a lot of people also think it was Ryan Fitzpatrick because of the Dolphins news. You know, both, I guess, are probable or possible. But Tom Brady, he has now taken Ryan Fitzpatrick out of the running. Here is Tom Brady on his podcast. Let's go.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh, God, not this again. Yeah, go ahead. Let's talk about Ryan. And I love Ryan, but somehow he's got it out for me. And that's I actually talked to Ryan Griffin, who's one of our quarterbacks. He said, Ryan's always all over you. I don't know why. So I don't know why Ryan is. Maybe Ryan and I need to have a talk. You know, Ryan's a hell of a guy, too, and I've competed against him. I mean, he's a Harvard guy. Now he looks like he's part homeless, and now he's on TV doing what my future job's going to be. So I think Ryan's got a good thing going. I'm not sure why he needs to think that I'm after him or something like that.
Is he the MF? Was he the guy you want to finally come out and say that it was or wasn't him?
Scratchy, I like to keep him guessing. And unfortunately, with this coming out, I'd have to tell him it wasn't him.
Wait, did he call him
Wow.
Scratchy?
Okay, so now it could be 31 others.
Let the guessing games begin.
All right. Well, at least it's not Ryan Fitzpatrick. You just ruined all of his material in his brand new job. I mean, what's he going to be able to talk about now since it's not him?
I'm gonna have to make him work a little bit harder. He's, like I said, he's a Harvard guy. He shouldn't be too hard with that. He should find plenty of other things to talk about.
All right, there you go.
Who's Scratchy?
I guess that's Jim Gray's nickname.
Is it?
You always focus on the weirdest part of a clip.
Yeah, he just all of a sudden out of the blue said, "Okay, Scratchy." But
everybody knows that Tom Brady and Jim Gray call each other Itchy and Scratchy. They're big Simpsons fans.
No, nobody does. No, I did not know that. Neither did you.
I made it up.
Yeah, of course you did. This is what it's like doing the show. You always got to look for the smirk, the smile, the grin, and he could not even be close to the truth. I made it up, of course.
But I'm torn on this, okay? First of all, Ryan Fitzpatrick is right about this, okay? I'll give the show pony credit for this. Very clear Tom Brady does not like him. He does not care for Ryan Fitzpatrick.
That was very clear.
You didn't think that was clear?
To me, Tom Brady speaks as if
when
Fitzpatrick's beneath him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is he not?
Yes.
I mean, is he not?
He is beneath. Oh, he is beneath him.
Yeah.
But I also think that he thinks I got to actually address this with this guy. Because first of all, he gives the dismissive, and I love Ryan. No, he doesn't. When you say
soon as you say that,
that's a Stugatz move. Like that's the immediate, uplifting, positive. And I love Ryan. No, he doesn't. He does not love Ryan. And where he's like, oh, he's a Harvard guy. He should be able to figure this out. He calls him homeless looking, But I'm torn on this because obviously I would love for it to be in the case where Ryan Fitzpatrick isn't that mother believer, because why would Tom Brady even give him the time of day?
Right.
I'm on that side. However, I'm also on the other side of this is a criminal, and this is the perfect cover-up so he doesn't have to answer for his crimes. So I'm torn. I don't know which side to be on this one. Am I anti-Fitzpatrick and I believe Tom Brady, or do I admit that I'm believing a known liar and cheat? Where do I go on this one, Leroy Hort? I need advice.
So years ago, I got an absentee ballot from Louisiana, and it was to vote for governor. And my two choices were Edwin Edwards, who had been kicked out of the office for stealing money.
Wow.
And David Dukes, who was the grand poobah of the Ku Klux Klan.
David Dukes?
Yes. That was my two choice for governor. So I totally understand the situation you're in.
I feel like yours is.
Do I vote for the guy who might not be a big fan of black folks? Or do I vote for the guy that I know as soon as he gets around money in the office, he gonna steal it?
Yeah.
And guess what? They elected the criminal instead of the racist. And guess what he did? Stole money.
See, I think I'm going to lean towards, I still think it is Ryan Fitzpatrick being that mother bleeper. I think I have to side with the show pony,
but
unfortunately. And I don't want to do that.
Let me ask you a question.
There just appears to be too much evidence that Tom Brady was definitely planning at one point to go to the Dolphins.
But here's the question I have. Is that, do you even make comments about a guy who's a setup guy? So Ryan Fitzpatrick was never brought here to be a long-term solution.
Right.
Do you even need to make comments for that?
Well,
whereas if you think of Derek Carr, right? He is a guy who's been in the organization and been a quarterback for a period of time. So
a little better than decent.
Huh?
He's a little better than decent.
Right. But you would have questions. Oh, y'all don't think I'm that good? That sounds more like Tom Brady than even wasting time on a guy who was never meant to be the long-term quarterback.
But then again, I do have Stephen Ross saying that he's been vindicated even though he's suspended. And I do have Dana White admitting that he was trying to...
Vindicated!
I do have Dana White admitting he was trying to get Tom Brady to the Raiders.
Right.
The Raiders owner was just smart enough to deny it.
Right.
He's not suspended. This Dana, I don't know what he's talking about. He's got stories.
Meanwhile, they're eating dinner.
They ate crab together.
Right. They ate crab together.
Crab together.